Welcome to Gym Owner Freedom. I am Scott Carpenter, and I am a former broke, struggling, frustrated, and overworked gym owner that felt stuck no matter what I did to try and improve the business. Once I realized that the answer wasn't what I thought it was, just getting more clients, and after really doing the math on acquisition and churn rates, I realized I wasn't even playing a winnable game to begin with. With my current price structure, mathematically, there was no way I could afford to pay my staff so I could scale up and out of the business, that I could have the time, the money, the impact, and the freedom that I always knew I was capable of. Once I learned how to add value by selling transformational programs to people who needed more than just workouts, everything changed in my life. Today, I own 6 gyms that all run without me, and I am free to pursue my passion projects and work just because I love to, not because I have to. And if that's a goal that we mutually share together, then this is the show for you. I'm going to teach you the framework to make way more money with less clients and open up a world of possibilities to you. Subscribe, leave a review, and tune in every week. It'll change your life. I promise you that. So yeah, we're going to get in and actually share some really detailed privy financials about how to really build a business and use that business to build the life of your dreams. And it's been a crazy journey over the last 11 years, I think, as a gym owner, 11 and a half, something like that, roughly. It's been insane. And I've been on the verge of bankruptcy multiple times to turning it all around in a very short period of time. And one of the big things that kind of gets to us a lot is, you might be paying the bills now, but we all deal with that stress of, do we have enough money at retirement? Or will we ever be able to retire? Are we going to be able to put our kids through college if they go to college? All these different things. And one of the biggest things that we get into business in the first place is we want to live life on our own terms. We also want to have financial independence. And it's very difficult to do this in small business. It's extremely difficult to do it. And what I wanted to do is share you exactly how I've done that. And one of the most important things is taking the cash flow and the profits from your business and turning it in to Mailbox Money and making money while you sleep. The graphic that you're looking at right now, it's from OnQ Property Management. This is for one of my properties. This was the house that I formerly lived in that I kept as a long-term rental. And you can see the distribution is a little over $3,000 this month. They drop that in, electronic deposit every month. And that's not the only source of Mailbox Money I have. And so I'm going to show you how you can do this. So first off, I'm going to get into the weeds on this stuff and show you numbers and show you exactly how I did this stuff. So you might be asking, should I spend the time to watch this training? Should you spend this time to watch it? Because I'm going to get into the weeds on it. You're going to love it. But the bottom line is, if you're not quite there where your business is spinning off enough money, still watch this, because I'm going to show you how to make sure that happens, the dumb moves that you don't want to make sure you have extra cash flow. And if you're stuck or you're not sure, you don't know how to build this amazing life and build assets that make you money so you have a lot of financial security, you need to spend the time to watch this. If you're not concerned with any of it, save the time, do something else. But if you want to create extra cash flow and if you want to create indestructible wealth, then buckle up, listen in, make some notes on this one. One thing that you guys need to know too, I was not gifted with businesses at all. This is stuff I completely bootstrapped. I'm going to tell you how I did this today, but know that I started at the bottom of the bottom. I started with credit that was absolutely destroyed, nothing to fall back on. This bill of sale that you're looking at here was the actual car I was driving that I bought in, looks like 2013. So I bought a failing gym in 2012 is where I started. I was driving a car I bought for $2,300. It had 250 some thousand miles on it, and the bumper fell off within a month. So it was a pretty shitty car, put it that way. I didn't have good credit. And Dave, as you know, it wasn't easy when we started out. So Dave was an independent personal trainer paying rent at my second location. And you had your own financial struggles big time too.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I was down to $14 in my bank account Christmas the December 26th, 2014, after I done 9 bodybuilding shows in a year. I have no idea why Carrie stuck around. Like I got a care package from her when I got back into town. So toilet paper. So you nailed it, man. I'm not saying that the journey's easy now, but my God, in 2013, 2014, 2015, it was we've been through the rodeo just like everybody else listening.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been rough. Yeah, his that's his wife, girlfriend at the time. She had to give him money because he had no money. This picture in the middle is of me when I had my firstborn son. That's my wife. We got married like 7 years ago, and that was when the business was going through tons of shit, like awful. Nearly like I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. I had to try and marry her too. So we didn't even really have a wedding. There were like 8 people there. We rented a place and then we had the what is it, the reception or whatever at our house, super cheap. If you look at the ring on her finger, you can't even see the stone. It's that small because I had nothing. I had nothing. And I had to get a loan to do it. I got a personal loan from SoFi to make that happen. Now it's a lot different story. Okay. Now, after I'm going to share with you what I've done, it's different. Like we have a lot of freedom. We have vacation homes that we go to. We are able to take time off work. I wasn't able to take a vacation for years and years and years and years after I started my first gym. Really tough. We get to do amazing stuff. I get to show my kids amazing opportunity. And guys, if this is your first live that you're joining or watching, like you'll see, but we share our profit and loss statements. We actually open up not to just show the revenue. Revenue can be ego metrics. I know people that are doing close to $1 million in revenue, but only doing 10% profits, 10% net profit on it. So that might be 80 grand if you're doing 800,000. It doesn't cut it. Revenue can be an ego metric. You got to be careful when people brag and put out about revenue. It's really what it is when you're an owner. It's all about what comes back to you. What is the overall profit? I don't care if it's salary and distribution and whatever your gym pays for your car. The main thing is this has to profit a lot. And most people just don't design a business that profits a lot, and we can never get ahead. But this is very near and dear to my heart because I've been through the worst of it. And freedom is why I became an entrepreneur in the first place. I want the freedom to live life on my own terms. And there's 2 things that are really highly important with this: money and time. That gives you the freedom. If you own your own fitness business, that's a step in the right direction, but you quickly realize, holy shit, this is a lot harder than I thought. And my time is still not my own. It can be. First, you need to make the money and have the profit. Then you can buy your time back. And then you have freedom to work as much or as little as you want. You have freedom to work on the things that you just want to do. And when you can do that through business, but then what you want to do is siphon that money and put it in investments that will make you money while you're sleeping. Mailbox Money. Okay. Have you read this, Dave? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki?
I read the 7 minute or listened to the 7 minute version. I have this app. It's a really cool app. It does like book summaries in 7 minutes. So it's definitely on the top of my list though to read it through thoroughly.
It's a really good one. Like it's on kind of financial theory in a way. It's a great book. It tells it through story format. So the whole book is actually very entertaining. But it talks about creating cash flow and different ways to do it. Now, it doesn't show tactically how to do it, but it's a great book to open up your mind because there's 4 ways to produce income. You're an employee, right? You're trading your time for money, or you're self-employed. This is what a lot of gym owners actually are quite often, is self-employed. You're still trading time for money, right? When you become a true business owner, now you have people and systems that will give you leverage. So you're probably still working in it to some extent, but you're now making more money with less of your direct time involvement. But that's a tricky thing, really, to go from self-employed to a true business owner to the point where you don't necessarily have to work full time if you don't want to. That's tricky. That's tricky. And then finally, there's the I quadrant. The I quadrant is for investor. This is where you take your money and have your money make babies. Have your money make more money. So business owner and investor, you have a lot more leverage. Employee and self-employed, you're trading your time for dollars. So the whole point is, can you move along this into the business side, into the investing side? And that's what I want to show you how to do it, because this is what we're going to talk about a lot, into the B to the I. So really, to create mailbox money and to create indestructible wealth that makes you money while you're sleeping, three things. Number one, you need to go all in on building the most profitable, not the highest revenue, the most profitable business possible. And this means investing in yourself and investing in your business education. I want you to make $100,000 to $300,000 in profit per location. Per location. That's what I want to see coming to total ownership, whether it's you and your partner. I want to see all of it, $100,000 to $300,000 in profit per location. Okay. Number two, take those profits and you're going to reinvest them into growing your business. Okay. So it spins off even more cash flow. So you can which is the third step, take the excess free cash flow and invest it in assets that will make you money while you sleep. Super easy. Here's the key thing, guys. I talk about profit over revenue. I want your place doing 30 to 50% net profit. If you're an owner operator and you're working in the business full time, you can get closer to 40, 50% profit. If you decide that you want to get out of the business or working it 5 hours a week or less or something like that, your profit might be smaller because you have to replace yourself in there. But I really want you getting to the point where you're doing 30%. I mean, that's great when you get to that point. This is life-changing profit. Most gyms are like around 10. And so I'll talk about that. I'm just going to touch on one or two right now. Building a profitable business. The most of this, I'm going to show you the investing part, exactly what to do with your cash flow. So I'm going to breeze over this first part. But in order to get 30 to 50% net profits, you have to do something different than you're doing now. It's over and over and over again. And we're feeling it now post-pandemic, right? We're feeling it now in Q4. But the reason you're stuck where you're stuck is because, yeah, you're acquiring clients, whether you're doing 3, 4, 5, you're doing 10, 12 or more a month. But what happens is that the people are also leaving. You have churn. And at a certain point, acquisition and churn are going to cancel each other out and growth halts. And you have to continue to sign up a lot of members just to not lose ground and stay where you're at. And that's challenging. It's very challenging. Post-pandemic, we're seeing that this equilibrium has lowered because, well, first of all, super cheap franchises keep coming in everywhere. Online coaching is a big thing. Everybody bought at-home equipment, right? Ozempic is on the market, taking it by storm. So it's harder to get people in gym, is it not? It's a lot harder. We're struggling with it more, aren't we, Dave?
Oh, it's a dogfight, man.
Yeah.
We work with 100 gym owners, and it's a dogfight right now to get to sit down with 10 to 12 people a month.
Yeah, it can be very challenging. Some of you are in areas where it's a little bit easier. Awesome. But you're still going to have an equilibrium. You're still going to have a revenue and profit ceiling. And this is quite often. The revenues might increase, but because the cost to get them in the doors and to service them and everything coming out the back end, your revenues are increasing, but your profits aren't. And that's what happens over and over and over and over again. It's like, oh, cool, you're doing 40K a month, 50K a month, but there's not much money at the end of the pot afterwards. And like, here's what we end up doing. This is what we did for years. It's like just getting more and more clients. Once I get to X clients, I'll be good. But then you realize the profit isn't there. And you're just stuck on this hamster wheel. And you have to play a winning game. And the way we do it to bring in 30 to 50% profit margins is we don't play the volume game. We don't try to get more and more and more and more and more clients. We are fighting the market. What we do is figure out how to demand a higher price for our services so we can work with fewer people. And fewer people means you have a smaller space, you have less staff, you have fewer problems, you have less ad costs, less expenses, less complaints, lower churn. It's easy. We have an easier time, even though we're having a tough time. It's easier for us because we can maintain signing up 4 new people a month. We can maintain excellent profit at 4 people a month, whereas other places need 8, 12 or more just to prevent backsliding. So it's a lot easier for us with this. And you don't have to change your model. If you're boot camp, large group, this, that, the other, semi-private, one-on-one. You don't have to change your model. You just have to do it. You have to sell something that's more expensive. It's pretty easy. And there are three types of people that come in your doors. One has a strong pain or desire to change. That's a high ticket program that you sell. Okay. Some people don't have a really strong pain, but they still want to get in great shape. Well, they still need nutrition and accountability too. And then the third type is somebody, hey, I just want to work out. And that's pretty much what everybody nails, is the working out and giving great workouts. You guys are great at that. What you don't do is solve these bigger problems for more money. You can sell a 9-week program for $3,000 if they have a strong pain or desire to change. You're going to look at $599 to $1,499 if it's not a strong pain, but they want to get in great shape, your mid ticket. And then you have your low ticket, whether it's PT, whether it's group, small group, large group, semi-private. But you need to sell 3 different things, not one different thing. Okay. And you need to learn how to do it properly. And that's how we can have an average revenue per month of $600 and up, way up, because we're solving a bigger problem. That's it. It's pretty simple. Again, I don't want to go into the weeds on this one. Some of you are familiar with it. We teach you how to build out your high, mid, low ticket offers. We teach you how to sell it, fulfill it, and renew it. Our exact model, we teach you how to do. And it doesn't matter, like I said, if you're a CrossFit, boot camp, semi, one-on-one studio, works in all of them. But what you need to do is you need to have a winnable system that will get you 30 to 50% net profit. Absolutely. Okay. Then, well, let's look at it. Here's how you get to freedom. Launch higher ticket programs in your gym so you can do way more with less. You need to grow your profit. So you need to align things, right? We want you're working full time when you're in the grow stage, getting to 100 to 200K per year profit. Okay. Then you're going to concentrate on scaling. Okay. Scaling with your team, getting leverage. So going from that self-employed to the business owner, and you're going to get yourself out of the job. Goal, I want you making 100 to 300 plus thousand a year at this. And I want you working the number of hours that you want. Then you concentrate on freedom, taking the cash flows on this and investing them in these assets to create indestructible wealth. It's pretty simple. So let's talk about how to create this mailbox money, because it's not that complicated. You can make 5 moves in the next 3 to 5 years that completely, you don't ever have to worry about money ever again. Dave, you've heard me talk about that before, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm logging in today, man. I need another refresher course. You're the best in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, it's not that complicated. I mean, it is, but it isn't. So I'm going to give you the rundown exactly how I've done it. This isn't theory. This is exactly how I've done it. Okay. First off, it needs to be said, don't do stupid shit with your money. Don't do stupid shit with your money. I see it all the time. People will join our high ticket launch. They'll bring in 30 grand in 8 weeks in new business. They're like, wow, this is awesome. I'm going to pay off this. I'm going to pay off that. I'm going to go on vacation for 2 weeks. And then during that time, they haven't nurtured any leads or anything like that. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, shoot, I'm in a cash flow crunch. Like, when you start making the money, and trust me, guys, I want you living an exceptional life. I am not a Dave Ramsey guy who never wants you to buy Starbucks ever. I want your lifestyle to expand, but it's got to be done smart. Don't do stupid shit with your money as soon as you start making some real good money. I'm going to show you what to do with it instead. Okay. Number 1, create a sweep account. Get a savings account, set one up online. Okay. That's high interest savings account, and just create automatic transfers from your business account into your savings account. Okay. It might not be that big right now. As it grows, make that bigger and bigger and bigger. You'll get 4.2, 4.5% interest on it in today's interest rate environment, which is great. Make sure it's separate so you're not tempted to get it. Set up through ally.com, set it up through American Express, has great banking accounts, whatever. Okay. Create a sweep account to take the excess so you do not spend it on stupid shit. Don't buy new equipment on your gym. Okay. Unless you absolutely must. You think people are going to value it. Only you really value it and your staff. Okay. Your clients don't care. Don't spend money on stupid shit. Sweep it. Okay. And then here's what I do. This is optional, but infinite banking. You've probably heard of the infinite banking concept. It's basically, and I'm not going to go too into the weeds, but it's a way to take and store my money where Lawsuits can't get to it, where it provides ultimate protection in case I die. In case I die tomorrow, my family is taken care of. It's a permanent form of life insurance, but done correctly, it's a vehicle to store your money, have it grow at about 6% a year, but you can still access your money anytime you need to for investments. And setting up a policy like that, this is my actual policy here. You can design them in a million different ways. I went aggressive. I started this when I was 38. Okay. I'm 41 now. I've made my fifth payment on it. I am putting in 100 grand a year. Don't let that scare you. You don't have to, you can do 10 grand a year. Okay. But I'm putting it in there and it's going to provide protection for my family, but it's going to grow in cash value. And all I'm doing is putting in 100 grand for 7 years. But if you look at it, by the time I'm 65, this thing's worth over $3 million. And it's not like an IRA. It's not like you get penalized. I can get access to this money anytime I want for my business, to take a vacation, to make an investment, and I do that. Okay. I do have a separate training on that one. So just throw me. Sarah Carter, Citi has a good one for checking accounts. Thank you. Good. And I have a separate training on this infinite banking stuff. So if you ever wanted it, let me know. I have a separate one I can send you. But that's optional. You could just keep this in a savings account, let it ride. This is extremely nuanced to go into, so I'm not going to go into it. But let's talk about investments then. So whether you're just keeping this in a savings account, which then you hit up to make investments, or you do it from an infinite banking policy, which earns a return in two places. That's the advantage of it. You can invest things in a lot of different ways. Index funds with stocks and bonds, right? That's the traditional way that people do. It can work. It's simple. It's easy. You're going to get lower returns typically than you could with real estate or private equity as well. But let me show you what I have done. Okay. So a few years ago, I think it was like 4 years ago, then I did my first policy. Since then, I've even created another policy. I'm only paying like 25 or 26,000 a year on it, but I got one on Dave. So if Dave dies, God forbid you die, Dave, that would impact my family's financial standing quite a bit, right? So I got another insurance policy on Dave. And with that, I can make sure his wife, Carrie, gets paid out if he dies and all that. And then I'm building cash value through it. So I have two of those. And those, like I said, you can pull the cash out. The cash stays in there and earns the return, but you can loan it to yourself and use that to invest in things where you'll get a higher return. And real estate is the primary thing that I've done. So I'm going to show you, I'm not even going to go into the businesses that I own. You guys know I have the multiple gyms, right? There's PT Legends. There's Greenlight Personal Training Franchise Systems. There's those different things. But this is a few of the things that I've done on the pure investment side. And I have a long-term rental house. That's my old house. I moved into this new house and I kept the old one. I have two short-term rentals. These are vacation homes that we get to go and visit, but I have a property manager that manages them on Airbnb and VRBO and all that kind of stuff. Okay. In one of my gyms, I own the building as well. There's also the primary home that I'm in now. I have the two infinite banking policies that I mentioned. There's another, I recently acquired part of a company, an investment in another company that I'm very passionate about, that we also bought a building to. So there's another commercial building. Now, if you notice, if you're watching this, you see that there's not much appreciation or amortization. It's because I only own 22% of that company. So I'm taking that building value and lowering it to reflect how much I own of that. So these are all pure investments. I don't have to work in any of these things. In fact, in all the picture I showed you at the beginning from OnQ Property Management, they handle everything. So these are completely passive, where my money makes more money. Okay. Now, these things spin off cash flow. I have these homes, right? I have these homes and my infinite banking policies, they spin off cash. My houses spin off cash. This cash flow is like after all the expenses, after the mortgage, after the electricity bills, after the property management fees. So I make money through cash flow. I make money because every single mortgage payment I make on these things, it's paying down the loan, right? I'm also making money through appreciation. I'm just averaging 3% on it is for projections. But every year, that asset is going to make money with appreciation. right? So as you can see, if we look at it, cash flow per year, you know, these things cash flow, and the business that I have pays me dividends every month that I bought. So these things are cash flowing me $124,000 a year. I'm making extra. This is just my money making money, guys. I make another $51,000 just by paying down the loans that are attached to these assets. And the appreciation, oh, that didn't auto populate because I put a dash mark there. I don't know what it is, but it's probably 40, 60, 70, close to 100 grand, something like that. So if you look at the total that these investments are making me through cash flow, amortization, and appreciation, $285,000 a year. I had to update this for this training. I was actually surprised about it. Okay. But I did all this within a span of, I think, 5 years, 4 to 5 years is what I did. And again, I didn't have boatloads of money going into it. My businesses profited, and I took those profits, and instead of increasing my lifestyle, I invested it into these avenues. So that's exactly it, guys. It's self-employed. If you're still working, you don't have much leverage, get into the B, business owner quadrant. Then the cash flows go into the I. Okay. So let's take a look at what these investments are going to be doing for me. So now I have, with the 2 infinite banking policies, if I die tomorrow, my family's getting millions. They never have to worry about money again. So the cool thing is like a lot of people think of retirement. Hey, I have to sock away and save this money. I can't spend it. I can't enjoy it. I have to save it. So when I retire, hopefully I'll have enough and it won't run out before I die. And that's scary because you don't know how much it is. And the environments are changing. Cash flow makes you not have to worry about it. Instead of having a gallon of water and you're pouring it out every year, hoping it lasts, it's like you have a faucet and money comes out every single year and you never have to worry. I could live to 125. I don't have to worry about money. So what I did a little bit of math for you. Okay. So my houses, I kind of put off in this column, paid off value in today's dollars. My long-term house is about 615,000. My other 2 homes are 470 and 360. The commercial building's about $1 million. My primary home is 1.3 to 1.4 million. The commercial building, again, I only own 22% of it. It's a $1.5 million building. So my portion is really only 330,000. Okay. So in 25 years, say it's 25 years. So I'm hitting like 65. In 25 years, this is what they will be worth, assuming only 3% increases. Now, I also put in there what my infinite banking policies will be, which you can see right here, right? That's going to be 3.32 million. Remember, I'm putting in $100,000 for 7 years. It's going to be worth $3.325 million when I'm 66 on here. Okay. I have my other one too. So in 25 years, assuming real estate appreciates by 3%, all of these assets, let's say I don't do another thing for investing, not one other thing. This is all going to be worth $12.95 million, nearly $13 million. This isn't even assuming I'm reinvesting all of the cash flow into other things, which I will be. But 13 million. Now, what about the cash flow these spit out? Now, remember, these homes are already cash flowing money, right? But in 25 years, all of these mortgages are going to be gone. All of them are going to be gone. So it's going to cash flow more, right? So if we look at it, this is going to cash flow me between the homes. My infinite banking policy, my big one, is going to make me $193,000 a year. My smaller one is going to make me $36,000 a year, right? And then all these other things, it's going to make me $606,000 a year in income, doing nothing. Doing nothing. That's a lot. That's a lot. If you converted that, that's future money though. So you're like, well, what about inflation? Okay, well, if we back off, and all I'm doing is assuming that the cash flows are only going to grow by 2.5% a year, which is about inflation. So I'm taking very reasonable assumptions on the cash. If we reverse that and be like, well, what is $606,000 today if we were to take that same 2.5%? it was about $330,000 a year in income. Now that's what I have set up, even if I don't invest in anything else. Even, and again, this isn't including business income. So even if this all falls away, the businesses, this is what I have to rely on. I can make that. It doesn't matter if I die in 2 weeks before everything's finished for me, right? Because my whole life policies guarantee my family's all taken care of. It doesn't matter if I die in 10 years or 30, or I don't die for another 50 or 60 years and we have crazy medical costs and I'm like a cyborg. I will be okay. I don't have to worry about money. My family doesn't have to worry about money. And that's when you have really that true freedom, because then you can really pursue what you want to pursue in life. You can work as little or as much as you want. And hopefully I hope you do work a lot, because you're going to contribute value to a lot of other people. And it's really important to do. Retirement on just on a beach forever doing nothing and watching Wheel of Fortune sucks. Like, you might as well do something awesome with your time. And that is PT Legends for me. Me helping you guys build amazing, profitable businesses so that you can build an amazing future where you don't have to worry about things. You have financial security and abundance for you and your family. That's everything. Because I didn't have that for a very, very long time. And I started to turn that around just a few years ago. But 2 policies, 3 to 4 commercial real estate plays. That was really what did it. And then I recently acquired this other business just a few months ago. But that did it. 2 policies, 4 pieces of real estate. Ignoring the building the business I just acquired. So take out that cash flow, I'd still be making $500,000 a year if we just completely ignore the business I invested in. It's a lot. It's a lot. And well over $10 million net worth, closer to 12 at that point, right? Okay, that's some high level shit though. So Dave, did that make sense to you?
It made perfect sense to me, man. It's really good for me seeing this, just seeing like things can turn around very quickly. Like well, this is only 5 years. So like, as you know, I was an asshole in my early days with money. I bought my sports car. So like, I'm still like, I'm not here, but like this makes it a lot easier for me to digest and say, man, I'm not that far off. So
Yeah.
it's crazy how this can happen, once you get to a point to where it's like, okay, in 5 years, everything changed. So that was really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's just the value of things. So take like when we moved into, so we delayed buying the house we really wanted for quite a while, right? Because we took the cash flow and made these investments instead. Now we've moved into it. We have a beautiful home. Like, we delayed it, but it allowed me to build all these things. It allowed me to build all these things. And then we reap the rewards by going into our dream home. And it makes all the difference. And so even take a look at, a lot of people will sell their old home to buy their new home. Well, I didn't want to do that. And the reason is because if I look at the long-term rental you see at the top, basically between cash flow and amortization and appreciation, that house is making me over $50,000 a year right now. If I sold it, I would have probably net 250 out of it. So my break even is 4 to 5 years, right? Well, do you want that money now, or would you rather have 50 grand in income? You know what I mean? Like 50 grand out of your net worth every single year. So think bigger, think longer term with these assets. And yeah, like this short-term rental house, okay, the second one is netting me like $500. I just spend maybe 70 to 80 grand to buy it and furnish it and stuff like that, right? Like, all right, it's for $500 a month. That's not much. But what does that do over the long run? You know what I mean? It's huge. This thing is going to be worth, in 25 years, it'll be worth $1 million. And it's going to make me 50 grand a month just from the cash flow alone. So it's everything, guys. Everything compounds. And whether they're investments in yourself, in your business, or investments in investments, guys, this shit compounds. What I've done here, it looks insurmountable. It might look insurmountable to some of you, But guys, this was insurmountable to me even just a few years ago. And these policies, these whole life policies, I'm putting in the 100 grand a year, but I'm taking a lot of that out. And then I use that to buy my first short-term rental. I used it to buy my second term short rental. I used it to buy my commercial building. So that's why this infinite banking policy, it allows you to invest in that and something else, and it accelerates. And now I've got two things making me money over the course of a long period of time. So that's how I was able to do it really fast. But again, it starts by, I need your business to make 30 to 50% net profit. That's what we want to get to. Then we take that and spin it off into these investments. For some of you, you might scale to multiple locations too, and then accelerate that. Investing in yourself, in your own business, there's no better investment that you can possibly make. Then once that grows enough, yeah, you got to get serious about this other stuff. And again, 4 or 5 moves, you never have to worry about money again. It's crazy when you look at it through a long-term lens. That being said, anything else, Dave, on this that makes sense or doesn't make sense?
No, man, you dummied it down. It makes sense.
Okay. So here's what you need to do. This that you're looking in front of, like, you need to get to the 30 to 50% margin. That's where you start. All of this kind of financial stuff we go over in our scale program, right? I'm helping you build a life like this. Okay. If your business isn't there yet, where it's spinning off the cash flow that you want, right? Just comment call below. You can hop on. We'll have you hop on with Josh. Josh is our key mentor. Tell him where your problems are. Is it lead flow? Is it your prices? Is it staffing? Tell him what your problems are. He will walk you through what you need to be doing. If you're somewhere in this launch to grow to scale process, you want to work in one of our programs, awesome. He'll let you know which one is going to be best for you. And if you do it on your own, great. There's your game plan. If you're interested in building these assets and everything like that too, type in Mailbox Money, because you might want to hop on a call with me for some of these things instead. So, but the main thing is, guys, I know this looks like big stuff, but literally I was probably in your shoes just 6 years ago. Just 6 years ago until I made these changes. Got really serious about it. I hit rock bottom, really. I mean, this photo right here in the middle, I hit rock bottom. I mean, I had one guy that ruined 2 locations that I trusted, that managed one of them, screwed it up. I switched places with him. He screwed up that other one. I had to let him go. He tried to sue me. It was a freaking nightmare. I had 2 locations in the red with hardly any staff members, and I'm only one person trying to be in 2 locations. Shit was tight and scary. Okay. But that was my catalyst. This is a picture of golden handcuffs. Okay. I forgot to talk about this, but a lot of you guys are comfortable where you're at right now. So you're not reaching for it. You're not learning from the people who can get you ahead. You stopped innovating. You stopped looking for solutions. You are just, Sarah, call, we gotcha. Awesome. So you guys have you've got golden handcuffs on. You know, there's not enough pain for you to really go further. And that's where I was before that. Now, my wake-up call was when shit went south like that. And all of a sudden, I'm like, holy shit, I may need to file for bankruptcy. I needed that wake-up call. My hope in sharing this stuff is that you don't wait until something like that happens. You're proactive. You continue to grow. You continue to learn. You continue to scale everything. Just because you're comfortable, it doesn't mean you're going to build that ideal life. So don't lose sight of that dream that you had when you first opened your business. Hey, just a quick reminder to everybody, if you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 more this month, every month, by making more money with less clients with transformational programs, and create a consistent flow of high quality leads, you can learn more about what it's like to work with me and my team at PT Legends and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. It is such a no-brainer that it more than pays for itself when we teach you how to enroll just two case study clients. Really, that's it. So go to CoachScottCarpenter.com and learn more about it. That's my parting words. So type in call. We'd be happy to get Josh to spend an hour with you and troubleshoot your business. Half an hour, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, troubleshoot your business with you. If you're already cash flowing really well, you want to learn more about some of these investments and how to do that, shoot me a DM or type in Mailbox Money. Be happy to chat with you as well. Anything left to add, Dave?
That's it. That's a wrap.
All right. We are going to get back to next week doing a little bit more tactical stuff in your gym. Every now and again, I like to go over this kind of stuff to paint a bigger vision for you guys, because it all starts with that. Think big, okay? Take the actions you need to take every single day. I can promise you in 5 years, 3 to 5 years, you can build a stupidly awesome business and an awesome life. You can get to 30 to 50% profit margins where you're making 150, 250K in profit. You can do that in 12 to 18 months or even less. It's there for you guys. I can promise you. Anyways, thank you for watching. We will see you next Thursday live right here. We'll get to some tactical stuff that you can do for going into the new year, getting really ready for that, knocking in the park. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 a month or more this month by making more money with less clients and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn about what it's like to work with me and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. And if you got any value out of this episode, please pay it forward and leave a review for this show. It helps other gym owners find the answers to the huge problems that we all share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.